Everyone, it's your boy Josh coming back live and direct. It's time to talk about the last game of the season, week 17, Cardinals versus the Sea Chickens. So yeah, I figured, let's get into it, let's discuss it, let's talk about it, right? I mean, last game of the season, I made sure to get decked out, got all my Cardinal gear on, put on my helmet because I figured this is going to be a whirlwind event. So yeah, let's talk about that shit. So we're in Seattle, end of the year. It seems like every year now we end up playing them at the end of the year itself. As always, the Cardinals have played them tough at home, right? I think 4 of the last 5 years we've owned their ass. But that, of course, was under Bruce Arians, So we have the weak loser of a coach in Steve Wilks. So, obviously I don't expect much. I mean, I pretty much expect this team to roll over and get their ass handed to them, like typical fashion all season. So, but game goes off, right, man? It's off and running, and it's up and down, and our defense is in it. I think we had 6 sacks and 2 fumbles. Was it 6 sacks? Yeah, 6 sacks, 2 fumbles and an INT. I was like, damn, dude, where did this defense come from all year long? I guess that's what happens when you lose a bunch of players to injuries. Or players that just don't give a shit and they've quit on the team. Patrick Peterson, I'm not going to name names, of course. And half the defense, but, whatever. Yeah, they fucking come out full blown and start taking it to the Seahawks. So I'm thinking, and if you're like me, you're thinking, man, the defense played so well. We must have won that game. False is the answer to that. We did not win, of course. We ended up losing in loser fashion, 24 to 27, right? Again, Janikowski, the old drunken sailor, the leg, right? The guy who drinks a fifth of whiskey and just walks out and kicks field goals. Does it to us again in the closing seconds, as Russell Wilson always does to us, marches down the field in the last minute or two of every fucking game in the fourth quarter, sets his team up to win, and they fucking win, and we lose. So, typical fashion, right? We end up the year 3-13, so it was awesome. So, let's talk about some things, fucking Rosen had a pretty solid game. He was 18 for 34 for 149 yards and a touchdown. David Johnson was nowhere to be found as always. There were a few times where actually he got out into space and just looked like a little bitch. He ran with nervousness. You can't be a running back in the NFL and run like a bitch. Okay? You either hit the fucking hole and fucking go for fucking daylight, or you just cower and fall to the ground like a fucking crumble of fucking dirt. And he did that exact thing. He just fell to the ground like dirt. He didn't break no tackles. He's just been a bitch the last few weeks. Actually, I didn't even take that back. Man, he's the whole season. Way to get paid $34 million on an extended contract, you fucking bitch, and then you run like a bitch. So, fuck you, David Johnson. I hope we get rid of you, honestly, because you're worthless if you can't fucking hit the hole. Chase Edmonds, who gives up 5 inches to you and about maybe 50, 60 pounds, runs harder than you with more desire and more will to win. So, David, I think you should look in the mirror, bro, and look at yourself and ask yourself, am I really fit to be a football player? Because right now, you look like garbage. So, our man Fitzgerald, who probably played his last game of his career with us, which is a very fucking sad feeling for me. I think he was targeted 6, 7 times, got 4 catches, 36 yards, and that one-handed touchdown. I mean, first bout Hall of Famer, dude. Fitzgerald, by far. Man should have had a Super Bowl. Should have given it to him when the Steelers stole it from us and the referees robbed us of it. Our own lonely shot at the Super Bowl. I don't want to get into that. I know I got a lot of Steeler friends and fans out there. Just saying. You robbed us. You robbed us. It just is what it is. But that's okay. That ship has sailed. No one gives a shit anymore. But still, Fitzgerald just goes out and he plays the game of his life, dude, and fucking gives us everything he's got. And we didn't come back with a win for him. At least he could have gone out on his career on a winning note, and instead we gave him an L. So I'm sorry, Fitz, man. I'm sorry they failed you. And let's talk about our kicker, man. Zane Gonzalez, bro. Like, 3 for 3, long was 55 yards. Like, man, shit. He's got the leg. Hopefully he stays around. I don't know. Maybe he is the future kicker for us. I mean, ASU product, all-star leg. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's the answer for us in the future. We'll see. But like I said earlier in this video, the defense, dude, lit it up. Just lit it up. I don't know where you guys were all year long, but... Or maybe it was Al Holcomb finally came to his good God senses and just said, you know what? I suck at the 4-3 alignment as a coordinator. Let me just put them back in their natural positions that they've been in when they were a top 5 defense instead of a top nothing defense. And let the guys just go out and eat. I mean, hell, even Buchanan... Dayon Buchanan went out there and like did some work. Now, I know I've been critical of him all season long, but he really didn't show up all year. And then he finally, he had to put some good game tape out there because, he's not coming back. So, I mean, overall, we look like shit. We played like shit offensively. And then, and in the defense, I got to give them credit. They really put a lot of effort in. Looking at the stats as I like to do, obviously Seattle had more total yards than we did, by like 100 yards more. And then the rushing just, it bothers me. It's bothered me all year long. We rushed for like 86 yards total. Their running back Carson had 122 by himself. He had more rushing yards than our entire team. What does that tell you? It tells you that there was a super deficiency in our defense, which is we can't fucking stop the run. And every second string running back this year had a fucking feast on us. You know what I mean? We served that shit up deliciously for him. So, otherwise, what else do you expect? It was an all out, like, last game of the year. Seattle, Pete Carroll had his team ready to go, regardless it was the last game of the year. The Cardinals limped in like we had all year long and put up a fucking valiant fight. I really thought when we scored last, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, maybe we will beat them again and go 5 for 6 and keep the tradition alive. And then our defense, in the most critical moment, as they have done all year long, failed us and allowed them to like chunk out like 60 yards like on a couple passes and a couple runs to set up fucking the old dirty pirate to come out and just like kick a game-winning field goal on us again. So 3-13, we get the first round pick in the draft. That means we're like complete utter losers. Look at the rest of the stats. We're the last in every statistical category for the entire year, and good for us. Good for us. I hope Wilks gets fired. I hope as soon as this game ends and he walks in the locker room, they're like, you're fired. Like, I hate Donald Trump. I don't give a shit if you fucking out there care. If I do, if I don't. It's my channel. I say what I want. You don't like it, move the fuck along. But fucking, I hate Donald Trump. But I almost hope and wish that they bring Donald Trump in just so he can do his patented, you fired, to Steve Wilks, and then turn around and go, you fired, to Al Holcomb. And then turn around and go, you fired, to like Steve Keim and every other jackass in the actual leadership categories of our team. Because all of you collectively failed us as fans and our team and our state. Arizona is a laughingstock in the NFL. I said that since week 1. Week 17, the shit's still the same. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. It was a hard year. I valiantly tried to watch every game. I know I didn't talk about the Rams game the week before last. Here was the thing. What the fuck was I going to talk about? Todd Gurley wasn't in there. C.J. Anderson got picked up off of like dirty waivers after being dropped by like 6 teams this year. And then he had a smorgasbord at 182 yards rushing. So I just didn't have it in me to even talk about that game the week before last because who gives a shit? We lost and we got blown out again like fashion. Which I think made 7 or 8 games this year where we got blown out by like 25 plus. So, all in all, I will say Steve Wilks was very consistent in getting his ass beat. Now, I know he's a rookie coach, and I know I've been critical about him and the staff and shit, but here's the thing. You're awful. You know you're awful. You're a rookie head coach. You had no experience and you had no reason to be here. You lied to us in your interview. You bullshitted us, and we took it hook, line, and sinker. That's on us. You brought over your bullshit buddy Al Holcomb, who's a bullshit defensive coordinator who fucking sucks, and his ass should go back to wherever the fuck he is from, and which is Carolina as well, and become like a fucking assistant to assistant because you don't know shit about defense, bro. And then the rest of you assholes should be gone as well. I would expect us to burn the entire organization to the ground and then rebuild it like the fucking Phoenix. And let that bird just flutter out with optimism for 2019 to, 2020. So, I don't know, man. It was an awful game. I don't know really what else I can say. You guys watched it. You know what I'm talking about. I got decked out. All my shit. Final game of the year. I was chingy. I was bling-blinging it. I got the gloves on. I had everything going, and we still fucking managed to lose. So at the end of the day, what the fuck does it matter, right? Thank you, Redbirds, for failing us as fans again for the year. And thank you for losing in terrible fashion again this season. And I look forward to everything else coming up into the new year. So with that, you guys, this was the last game of the season. Look for my next video, which would be my year-end review, where I kind of just want to talk about the whole year in retrospect. And yeah, and hopes to 2019 season get better than it was this year. And hopefully Santa and every other fucking spiritual creature out there will do us right and get rid of Steve Wilks and everyone else. So until then, you guys, we'll talk about it. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. And thanks for riding with me this season. And until next year, right? Well, my last video, but football-wise, I mean, because I don't give a shit about any of the teams that are going to go to the playoffs. I don't give a fuck. So I'm not going to report about them. So yeah, you guys, until next football season, man, this was a great time. I appreciate you all for watching. And let's do it again. So with that, we will see you guys soon. Peace.